constantly in this race to provide quality after-school care, quality mentoring, all kinds of programs that hopefully, obviously, we recognize has an impact, positive impact, not only on academic achievement, but very many other criteria of well-being. Having said that, our public facilities have not kept up with the demand because there's always many, many other groups that would like to utilize them. But it seems to me that if we are investing taxpayers' dollars in our public facilities, we should align that use with some of our most precious goals, which has to do with providing a safety net, providing support to those individuals and families that cannot afford perhaps to pay for private services and to rely on us. And so it was, I think, important to not only align the provision of services through our operating budget, but take a look at how are we prioritizing the use of our public facilities to fulfill those needs as well.
If you just look at a classroom, $6.50 an hour is all we're basically charging during the week. If you look at the all-purpose room, you mentioned childcare, $10 an hour or 11 or 12, that's about it. So what we're really discussing here are groups that want to use larger rooms, run bigger programs, and that's where the costs end up being higher.
When budget exigencies, however, make it impossible to support us as much as county government would like to support us, there is one thing that can happen that would be a benefit, and that's the use of space. And furthermore, I feel as though if there's any unused space, if there's any little used space, then I know for a fact that a lot of my nonprofit colleagues would be very interested in taking advantage of that.
You know, a very long time ago, I started a nonprofit in the basement of my home, didn't take a salary for 2 years, and I was serving low-income families and low-income populations. And so, of course, it's always very difficult because if you are focusing on low-income populations, you're not really charging them that much for the services because they are low income. And part of the challenge is always space, and I mean, that's sort of how Nonprofit Village came to be. I was involved in like a 3-year process, really trying to get to some kind of a proposal. It was first called La Colectiva that became the village, the nonprofit village, because it is very difficult for nonprofits to find not only spaces to operate, but then also to deliver the services. And so what I believe is part of the challenge, as I said earlier, is that we have had such a growth in population in the county. And another issue that affects mostly nonprofits is also this notion that because we are a wealthy county, very few foundations will provide funding specifically for things like overhead or space and things of that nature. So to the extent that we can again align our policy goals with our facilities, that's what this is really trying to get at. And although there's already this program, it only, as you said, it's only for classrooms. So this is a way to strengthen that and to keep revisiting how we can, once again, leverage our assets